And in the Christmas time, we always celebrate as the birth of Jesus Christ and the peace on earth. And he is the Prince of Peace. Yes, indeed. But we usually don't pay too much attention to this passage. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his root, a branch will bear fruit. Yes, indeed, that is from Isaiah 11. That is a prophecy of Messiah. But what does that mean? So here comes today's message. That stump, living shoot. That stump, living shoot. A curse of Messiah's lineage and its resurrection. Or you can say its redemption. Indeed, from Isaiah 11, here says, a shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, and from his roots a branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, and the Spirit of wisdom and the understanding, the Spirit of counsel and power, and the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. So no doubt about it, that's talking about Messiah. But why here said a shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, and from his root a branch will bear fruit. So we need to go back to look at the background, the historical background a little bit. We know at the time when the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah was divided into a northern kingdom and southern kingdom. And the northern kingdom was destroyed by Assyrian Empire first. Then the southern kingdom fell in 586 BC. So the last king of the southern kingdom, his name is Jehoiachin. I think it's kind of difficult to pronounce. Jehoiachin, and it's very similar to Jehoiakim, that's his father, and Jehoiakim, his father is Josiah. And Josiah is the one of the good king in southern kingdom. In northern kingdom, all of them are bad. All of them are evil. But the southern kingdom, some of them are good, some of them bad. But the last good one really is Josiah. And the son of Josiah, Jehoiakim, and the son of Joachim, Jehoiachin. Jehoiachin is the last king of the southern kingdom. During that time, here said Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, his mother, his attendant, and his noble, and his officials all surrender to Babylon, the king of Babylon, and in the 8th year of the reign of the king of Babylon. And he took Jehoiachin prisoner. So he also has several different names. Josiah, Jehoiakim, and Jehoiachin. Jehoiachin is also called Coniah, is also called Jeconiah. And sometimes I just wonder why the later historian intentionally changed his name. Because you know that Je, in many of the Old Testament names, the Je really means Yahweh. Oh, that's from the root of Yahweh. Probably because the Jehoiachin is cursed. So the later historian even take out the Je, that sound, and call him Coniah, just Coniah. So here is an even more detailed description from Jeremiah 22. Verse 24 to 30 says, As I live, declare the Lord, even though the Coniah, the son of Joachim, the king of Judah, wear a signet ring of my right hand, yet I will pull it off. Is this man Coniah a despised shattered jar, or he an undesirable vessel? Why have he and his descendants been hurled out and cast in a land that they had not known? Even worse. Read verse 30. Thus said the Lord, rise this man down childless, a man who will not prosper in his days. For no man, listen, no man of his descendants will prosper sitting on the throne of David or ruling against in Judah. Oh no. A curse of a Jehoiachin or Coniah or Jeconiah is a curse of a Messiah lineage. It's a curse of a royal line. So if you look at the curse, it's from the Lord himself. No one from Coniah or Jehoiachin, his descendant, will never ever sit on David's throne. Is Jesus from their line? Oh no. Let's read Matthew. In Matthew, here it says, a record of genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Yeah, there's a time everybody call him the son of David, son of Abraham. Indeed. And then you can see, is he the son of Jesse? Yes. Obed, the father of Jesse, and Jesse, the father of King David. Yeah, he's descendant of Jesse. Then continue to read. Continue to read. And the father of so and so, father and so and so, father and so, and the father of Josiah, and Josiah, the father of what? Jeconiah. Oh no. Our Messiah, his lineage is cursed. His lineage is cursed. That means he will never ever sit on David's throne. Where are we going to receive our salvation? If Messiah is indeed cursed. So, as we continue to read this genealogy, and Jacob, the father of Joseph, and the husband of Mary, to whom was born Jesus. Notice that here, the husband of Mary, okay, and to whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So here establish a hint that Jesus really is descendant of a Mary, which is more important. But indeed, to Jewish people, it is important for father's lineage, because all the kings are from male side, not from female side. So you can only assume the heritage from your father's side as a royal line. So at the time when people call Jesus, son of David, so what they mean is, hey, Jesus, you are from that royal line. You are supposed to assume that kingship. But the problem is, if you look at that from Abraham to David and then to Jeconiah, he's cursed. And from the cursed line, here comes Joseph and then Jesus. Are we in trouble? I hope not. Because Jesus is a descendant really not from Joseph. He's descendant from Mary. Yes, indeed, at that time, when Jewish people, especially during Jesus' time, they were expecting a descendant from David, a descendant from Jesse will assume the throne. But they didn't pay attention to the curse. It's a curse in Jeremiah. With that curse, no one from this line will ever take the throne of David. So, a record of genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham, the royal line is cursed. What do we do then? Looks like we're coming to a dead stump. The dead stump, the tree being cut off. So thus said the Lord, rise this man down childless, a man who will not prosper in his days, and for no man of his descendants will prosper, sitting on the throne of David or ruling again in Judah, never ever again. So if Jesus is just from this line, just from the Joseph's line, and he is cursed too. Have you noticed that? Most of the people, Jewish people at the time, their name actually has two parts. For example, Peter's name is Simon Bar Jonah. That means Simon, the son of Jonah. But what is Jesus' name? You notice that? Jesus Bar, no. No one call him Jesus, son of something, but they call him Jesus the Nazarene. Have you noticed that? Jesus the Nazarene. They didn't call him the Jesus Bar Yosef. Because Jesus literally is not the son of Joseph. Joseph is his stepfather, his godfather. But what is the other lineage? That make us to recall a proto-event that in Greek is of proto-evangelion, proto-evangelism. Proto-evangelion, that means the first gospel. The first gospel is in Genesis 3:15, say, and I will put an enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. Sounds like a puzzle. What does that mean? What does that mean? For Eve, yes, Adam and Eve, they fell because they want to eat that fruit. They want to be God for themselves. They were kicked out from the Garden of Eden, and they were cursed. So the women, descendant of Adam, was cursed. The descendant of the serpent was cursed. So God actually told the serpent, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers, and he will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. So who is the one who will crush your head, will crush serpent's head? That's coming Messiah. So that's the first gospel prophesied in even Genesis chapter 3. From here, we see another line. Have you noticed that we have two genealogy in Bible of Jesus Christ? One is in Matthew, the other one is in Luke. If you are careful enough, if you compare that line, name by name, they don't match. Have you noticed that? Especially from David to Joseph. That section doesn't match. And if you go back to read that, now in Luke 3:23 said, now Jesus himself was about 30 years old when he began his ministry. He was the son. Here's a pause. He was the son, so it was thought of Joseph. So it was thought. Well, that word, I went back to check that. It's very interesting. Literally means nominally. Nomizo. That's that word. Means nominally. The people call him the son of Joseph, but actually he's not. And then in English translation it said the son of Heli and son of something. But all of the son of Enosh, the son in the original language doesn't have that word, the son. What the construction is a tu Heli. Tu is genitive. Genitive means of someone. So literally, if you read this word, he was the son. If it's an insertion, he was the son of Joseph, but actually, that's a parenthesis, that he was of Heli. So if you go back to read in the Matthew, who is the Joseph's father? His name is called Jacob. It's not Heli. So what is the relationship between Heli and Joseph? What is the relationship? Well, according to most of theologians, they recognize Heli is Joseph's father-in-law. Why? why is it called Joseph, the son of Heli? But in the original language, there is no the son of Joseph of Heli. Well, it's not that difficult to understand. Back then, for any male, enable for you to pass on your heritage and your inheritance, you have to have a male someone to inherit you. So you have to have a son, even you don't have a son. So if Heli doesn't have a son, has only Mary, so what he need to do? He need to have a someone marry to his daughter and become his legal son. Then that legal son can take on the inheritance generation by generation. So Heli, yes, indeed, is father-in-law of Joseph, and Joseph is also his legal son. So then we read that he was the son, he was thought of Joseph, but interesting, and for all of this, the rest of them, it has a definitely article saying, of someone, the someone, the someone. Only before the Joseph, there's no definite article. So he was thought as we asked Yosef to Heli. So actually, he is the descendant of Heli. So this line is from Mary. This line is from Mary, then we read that from Mary, go back to Heli, Levi, all the way. Have you noticed that? It's also descendant of David, but not from Solomon. So that's not royal line. It's priesthood line, and you can see the Jerusalem is still there. So you can say, yeah, it's a priesthood line, and it's descendant from the Nathan and trace back all the way to Eve. Now, let's recall what is proto-evangelism. The proto-evangelism said the descendant of woman. Who is a descendant of woman? I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers, and he will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. So, your spring and hers. Who is the descendant, offspring of only woman? Who is that one? There is only one. It's offspring of woman only. That is, the virgin will be with the child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. So why virgin birth is so important? Because through Messiah's father's line, the royal line is cursed. But through Mary, and he is really the only offspring of a woman, and that line is blessed. So, why virgin birth? Well, actually, if you look at the Jewish custom at the time, they admire father's lineage. So if they admire a father's lineage, and the Joseph is descendant of David through a royal line, they will admire him more, right? So what's wrong to be a descendant of a male? What's wrong for a regular, normal birth, not a virgin birth? According to Jewish custom, that is great. Jesus should be a descendant of a male. But their royal line was cursed. To fulfill the prophecy in Genesis, and the future Messiah will be born out of the offspring of a woman. That is the second Eve, you can say that. That is Mary. So, why virgin birth? You may heard that from Catholic, what I call Catholic Mariology. In Catholic theology, it says they call immaculate conception, according to the teaching of Catholic Church. was the conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the womb of her mother, Saint Anne, free from original sin by virtue of the foreseen merit of her son, Jesus Christ. No, 9. Definitely not. There's no ground whatsoever in the Bible. No ground whatsoever in the Bible, and Mary is without sin. That is definitely no ground whatever. Sinless Mary is invented. It's not based on the Bible. So, because of that, in Catholic theology, invented the immaculate conception of Mary. But that is not the reason. The real reason is because from father's line, that royal line was cursed. But from Mary's line was blessed. So blessed Mary's lineage, yes. That is why, the true reason for virgin birth. So here's what we can see. In Isaiah 11 said, a shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, and from his root a branch will bear fruit. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, and from his roots a branch will bear fruit. And here is all the blessing will be bestowed upon him. And the spirit of law will rest on him. The spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and of power, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. So sometimes we call it the sevenfold spirit. It's not the Lord has 7 spirits. It's sevenfold spirit, if you count it, 7 of them. So the spirit of the Lord will rest on him. Sure, Jesus was baptized, the spirit of Lord rests on him. The spirit of wisdom and understanding, sure, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor of God, with God and man. The Holy Spirit, who Father will send in my name, will teach you all the things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Sure, the spirit of counsel and power. And Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of spirit, and the news about him spread throughout the whole countryside. The spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, sure. Going a little farther, he faced down with humility, said, my Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. Your attitude should be the same as that of Jesus Christ, who, being the very nature of God, did not consider equality with God something to grasp, but humbled himself. So Jesus, his spirit is always with humility, with the fear of the Lord. So Isaiah 11 here says, he will delight in the fear of the Lord. He will not judge by what he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears with his ears. And the righteousness, he will judge the needy. With the justice, he will give decision to the poor of the earth. And he will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and the breath of his lips he will slay the wicked. And that is a leader at the time of Jewish people. Righteousness will be his belt, and faithfulness the sash around his waist. And here's the promise. The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat, and calf and the lion and the yearling together, and little child will lead them. Yes, indeed, that is the promise. In Revelation 21:4, he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death and mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. And that is promise of a Messiah. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. That is the reason we celebrate this season. Thank you. God bless you.